Now, Kristina, we understand that you are a very confident person, but I'm sure that there's been times where you've had like the inner demon. What would be your one advice to people out there about confidence? What would be the one good thing that they could do to bring their inner confidence out?
Confidence, this is really interesting because people have that perception of me or anyone really on the show. I think all of our dancers, we kind of will look like maybe very confident people, but actually it's a long road to be in that state of mind, to be confident, to come on stage and perform. I think it all comes from long years of performing in front of people. Obviously, I started when I was only 6 years old and I absolutely love dancing. So at that age, you don't really think about confidence. You kind of just love dancing, love performing. And all the insecurities, to be honest, come much later. I think my confidence comes from my passion for dancing. This is where I feel the most confident on stage, where I perform, because I know this is me, this is how I express myself, and this is what I know inside and out. I've been dancing for 30 years, so obviously this is my craft,
Wow.
and I can't say I'm very confident outside of the stage. I think, in normal life situations, I'm not that confident actually, but I think if I have to give advice to anyone, I think you've got to believe in yourself. And I know it's such a cliche to say, but believe in yourself means if you really truly love what you do, it will take you to the right place in your life. And that's what happened with me as well. I traveled the world. Obviously I had to make sacrifices to leave my family, move to the States, then from there go here, because I always wanted to do my job and be the best I can be at it. And I think life gives you opportunities, that presents you with opportunities because you're that passionate and you feel like this is what you meant to do.
I mean, you say that you don't have much confidence in your personal life, but leaving your home at a young age by yourself to pursue your passion, that alone takes a lot of confidence.
I guess so. I obviously never think of me being a confident person. I think the only time I do feel like that, it's on the floor, like I said. But maybe you're right. It's just something I had to do in a way, because I felt like I really cannot imagine myself without dancing, without competing, without teaching. That was always a passion of mine. Kind of was like a hobby at the beginning, then became really my lifestyle. So I think that fire in me drove me to the right place in my life, and obviously ended up working on the biggest show in the UK, Strictly Come Dancing, the original show, which is now sold to 57 countries across the world.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that kind of love from when I was a little girl, wanted to perform in front of thousands of people,
And you have.
when you make them smile, when you see that report with the audience, only as a performer you can feel that energy, and that's, I think, what gives me confidence.
Yeah. And also, last of all, who's been your inspiration? Now, I do know that you're very close with your mum.
Yeah, definitely.
Has your mum been your biggest inspiration?
I think so, definitely. On a personal level, my mom would be my biggest inspiration. I think that she's the strongest woman I know, who went through a lot of difficult times in her life, and came on the other side. And we were there for each other. When she was weak, I was there for her, and vice versa. So I think we have that very strong bond, mother-daughter bond. And on a kind of professional level, it's all the greatest ones, like Michael Jackson, obviously, Patrick Swayze, and the rest of them. I watch YouTube, all the time. I watch shows and videos of all of them, and I find my inspiration, in those kind of iconic dances like Fred Astaire and Ginger and everything. You just can't get enough of it, So this is actually where I kind of find my inspirations from.
I remember when I was a little girl, I used to sit down and watch Grease and pretend I was Sandy,
Yes.
Looking for my Danny.
Yeah.
Have you had anyone as a childhood as inspiration like Sandy?
Yeah.
Or, has there been anyone, or has it been just purely trying to keep unique and try and bring something new to yourself each time?
I think growing up in ballroom dancing school, we obviously had, let's say, Russian champions at that time who were big names, and we all knew them in our sports, so we looked up to them. But I think on a bigger scale of things, it was always Russian ballerinas. My grandmother, when I was little, 3-4-year-old, she always gave me those books with famous Russian ballerinas. She was always saying to me, "You're going to be the next one, you're going to be the famous ballerina." And they didn't even take me to ballet school.
You are like a little ballerina.
So they said that it would be better if I go to ballroom school, but actually, I never looked back. I fell in love with ballroom dancing from the very first sort of lesson I took, with the variety of different rhythms and melodies, and definitely that's been my life.
You see, this is it. We're both Virgos now. I'm exactly a week older than you.
Yes.
To the month, and then obviously to the year. So being Virgos, you've just answered my next question as well. I was going to ask you, what's your favourite dance?
My favorite dance would be, do you know what, it so much depends on the mood, to be honest, because when you're sort of relaxed and sort of it's more foxtrot waltz, so if you kind of feel fiery, it's maybe cha-cha-cha or jive. I think out of all ballroom dances would be the waltz, really. It's such a graceful dance. It's the dance of all dances, the very first ballroom dance originated in, 16th century, and it's definitely something, when you dance the waltz, it really is, something very special about it.
Spiritual as well, isn't it? When you see the swirls and everything, you sort of feel that you're sort of flying, really, rather than sort of dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, Kristina, I'd like to say thank you so much for taking this time and talking to us. And we, good luck with everything you do, and we look so forward to seeing you on our screens again. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.